Hey, good afternoon. Valerie Milano here, the senior editor of the Hollywood Times, and I'm so happy to have my guest here today. Um, I want to welcome him to the Hollywood Times, and today we're honored to speak with one of the most influential figures in modern entertainment, Larry Namer. As the co-founder of E Entertainment, Larry helped revolutionize how the world experiences celebrity and pop culture. Now he's taking on a powerful new role as chairman of the World Film Institute, stepping in as its his visionary leader during an exciting time of transformation. Larry, thank you for joining us.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
Great. Congratulations on becoming chairman of the World Film Institute. What does the moment mean to you personally and professionally?
Well, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I still do my normal business stuff, but yeah, I've been really looking at what's been going on in the world of creating video content. And, it's changed so dramatically. It's not where, if you want to be legitimate, you got to make feature films. And, now you can make YouTube videos and TikToks and there's verticals and stuff. There's all of this stuff has become a way of presenting, and it's not a Hollywood. Well, Hollywood has become more of a measure of creativity, a measure of quality, but it's no longer the geographic place you have to go to make content. So, I've always said we need to come up with where we take the best of the best of the best in every single area from, how you create stuff, how you finance it, how you make it, how you market it, and create a training ground that could bring people around the world together to get the same educational benefits out of it, and it raises the boat for everybody. As we all get better at it. And I said, what better place than the World Film Institute? It's a 501(c)(3). It's a nonprofit, so we could offer the stuff incredibly um, inexpensively. And, a lot of people have now come up and said, hey, I'll donate my time and I can teach directing, I can teach writing, I can do this. And it's just fabulous how many people have just kind of come up and said, this is a great idea. How do I play part of it?
So Dr. Olympia Gelini called you a true visionary. How do you view the responsibility of taking the torch from someone who's led WFI for 4 decades?
Um, well, it is a challenge, to take over anything that has already has its own legacy behind it and stuff. And how do you lead it into the new modern age and make those changes that are needed without forgetting where it came from? So you always got to kind of honor where it was and what it become, but yet really focus on what the vision is for what it should be in this new modern age.
Have you thought about your top priorities as you step into this role, especially in terms of empowering global
Yeah,
content
I mean,
creators?
the real Yeah, so we need to build a technology base that can hold everything, everything from the educational courses in all different, every kind of subject you could possibly imagine. There should be parts that deal with film festivals. It should be the resource. So anybody who wants to make video content can say, hey, you know what? Let me try World Film website first because chances are they have it. Festivals, blogs, podcasts, you name it, it should all be in one place.
So, from my research, WFI plans to bridge traditional filmmaking with new platforms like TikTok and digital storytelling. How do you see that integration shaping the future of visual media education?
Yeah, I've always been kind of saying, it's not really all about feature films. It's not this or that. It's really all. I mean, sometimes I want to watch a movie. Sometimes I have enough time to watch a TikTok. Um, it takes a tremendous amount of discipline, creativity, and in order to create sustainability, people have to have the ability to market it, get an audience, and in most cases, come up with a financial scenario that lets them continue on. So I think that's the role there. I've always been, of looking at, we're now dealing in the world of entertainment. We're not dealing in the Hollywood of entertainment. And I could take my iPhone and go to Nigeria tomorrow and make a movie on my iPhone. Um, but then I would have a question, go, well, how do I finance that? How do I market it? How do I get it distributed throughout the world? All these are subjects that I think World Film has to tackle in the coming year. So the first phase is to build a technological platform to hold it all, to allow people to come become members um, there. And, membership is going to be incredibly cheap and it's tax deductible and it's going to finance all the educational programs.
Will we see any changes or new initiatives in the Family Film Awards under your leadership?
I think you'll see a lot of award stuff change. I think we'll be doing Family Film Awards probably in 2 years, probably not before. We'll probably do the World Film Awards. I think we'll do the World Webby Awards, the World TikTok Awards. I mean, we should just be celebrating everybody who makes video entertainment.
So to switch gears here a little bit, Larry, you co-founded and changed how the world consumes entertainment. What lessons from that journey are most relative as you guide the next generation of storytellers?
Well, I mean, there's always an interest in Hollywood and Hollywood celebrities and stuff like that, and uh, it all boils back down to storytelling. Sometimes you got to tell a story in a long form feature. Sometimes you can tell it in a YouTube video and stuff, but it's got to revolve around great storytelling and and then use of new technology. And I think one of the big tasks we have is to get people, in our world to understand that AI is not going away. Um, when I remember when we used to have to type scripts on a typewriter, and if you made a mistake, you had to take white out and stuff. And the people who are manufacturing typewriters weren't real happy when somebody came out with a personal computer and you no longer needed to do all that stuff. You could, you had word processing on your computer. And we're so totally used to it now. We don't think back on it and go, oh, those poor people who made typewriters. Um, it's just a tool. It didn't replace us. It just gave us another tool to make us more efficient, to make us better. Um, I think with AI, everybody is fearful of it. And the problem with AI is, well, first of all, it's not going away. I mean, it's here to stay. But our regulators need to catch up and create scenarios and rules and regulations for it. And the example I give people is, a 12-year-old kid can't say, hey, I feel like driving a car, give me the keys. I mean, you got to be a certain age. You got to take a course in driving. You have to take a test. You have to follow the rules of the road, or there are consequences. Well, now with AI, there's nothing that prohibits bad people doing bad things. And that has to come into effect. But we have the body of law for a lot of stuff. People go, well, what if you shoot a movie and then you want to take the person and make another movie with that same person and not pay him? I go, well, if I have a contract with them to get it, they're going to sue me and they're going to win. And I'm going to pay not only for that other movie, I'm going to pay the penalties and stuff like that. The deterrents are already there. We need to deal with the rules and regulations to make it clear that you can't do this stuff.
So, from Brooklyn cable splicer to global media pioneer, what fueled your ability to recognize and act on media trends before others did?
Well, I grew up in, a relatively poor neighborhood in New York, and my parents were immigrants. And, their aspiration for their kids were to get civil service jobs and be able to retire at 65. But for whatever reason, I didn't follow. But, when I came out to California, more or less, not to be in the creative side, but I was building a big cable system out here because I had worked in Manhattan, so I knew how to build underground. And, you know, I just never took Hollywood very seriously. I don't think it's rocket science. I mean, if you look at really what propelled Movie Time, which then turned into E, it was some of those irreverent shows like, Talk Soup, um, yeah, Howard Stern. I mean, those are all stuff that came out of that era. And, you take Talk Soup, and when I told people at first, I said, I want to do a TV show that makes fun of TV shows. They were like, "You're out of your mind. You can't do that." I'm going, "Why not? It's funny." Jerry Springer and all those shows. And, one of the shows is funny because it's an interesting week for me because it's actually the last show that I was involved in creating at E, literally was just canceled this week. E News. And, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God, they canceled my show. I can't believe it." And then somebody said to me, they go, "Larry, the show ran 35 years. Be happy."
Be happy. Yeah. Well, you championed education, mental health, and equality through your work. Are those values going to show up in your plans for WFI?
Yeah, they do. I mean, I'm very, very much into, and again, a lot of it comes from how you were brought up. So I'm very, very into the morals and the ethics of doing business. And, there are certain things that, I go, "Gee, I can make more money if I only," and then I go, "Yeah, but my mother and father would probably want to kill me if they found out I did something bad." So I think we need to bring back a lot of values and stuff and get people to realize that it's not all about how much money you make, that there has to be a social good component to literally everything you do. And now, kind of in the post-COVID age, and I'm doing a lot of stuff back here in the US again, everything I'm doing has a social good component to it. I mean, we did a series on financial wellness for millennials because kids just don't learn anything in school anymore about practical life skills. Um, and then, another one on called conscious parenting, trying to be a parent in today's really complex world. When I grew up, we didn't have bullying, we didn't have school shootings, we didn't have gender identification issues and all that stuff. It's hard to be a parent now. So we did that series. We have a series that's coming out in the winter, which is called Natasha After Dark. And it's a late night talk show. And people don't realize there's no women in late night TV in this country, which is real interesting. It's all guys, and it's all the same show. It's all, "So tell me, Tom Cruise, tell me about your next movie." I mean, who? And then networks wonder why the ratings keep going down because it's boring, horrible stuff. So we're doing a show called Natasha After Dark, which is kind of a homage, paying homage to the old Playboy After Dark, where every Friday you thought we were in Hefner's living room, and he brought this eclectic mix of stuff. Natasha is she's actually been picked as the number one female motivational speaker in the country, and we're doing something that instead of promotional, it's motivational, inspirational, and takes a whole different spin. And again, a lot of it is my attitude, which is Hollywood is funny stuff. Don't try and make believe it's rocket science.
Yeah, with so many filmmakers, aspiring filmmakers around the world, what advice would you give someone starting out right now with just a phone and a dream?
Well, I think, the biggest mistake I find entrepreneurs, not just in the film business, make is everybody's kind of beat into people's heads as, "Oh, follow your passion." Well, follow your passion is the quickest route to being homeless on the street and being hungry. Um, Most of the time, what your passion is really a hobby, and it's not what you're good. So I always say to people, find something you're good at, and then work your butt off until you become great at it, and then that will become your passion, and it will give you the luxury of being able to pursue your hobbies. I mean, for me, it's interesting because yeah, I do this TV and the media stuff and all that, but my passion has always been cooking. So if I would have followed my passion, I'd probably be cleaning pans in a restaurant somewhere. But because I, managed to find something that could sustain me and my lifestyle and the kids and all of that stuff, it gives me the ability to, to go to good restaurants and eat great food, or go to a cooking class for French food, or anything I like. So I get to follow my passions because I treated them as more hobbies than I did as passion.
That's wonderful. So just to wind it down, if we check back with you, which I'm sure we will, in a year from now, What impact do you hope WFI will have made under your leadership?
Well, I think number one, first and foremost, we need to get, all this educational stuff up and running, and that's going to take a while because you can't do it all at once. But I think really got to be the definitive place where people around the world know that it's the place that they can go to get unbelievable high level masterclass kind of training in any subject that pertains to the creation of video product, and they're not going to be gouged from a price point of view. I mean, we're now pegging, like a series on directing with top Hollywood directors at like $10 an episode, something like that. So $120, you get the 12-week course. Heck of a lot cheaper than going to like NYU Film School for, 3,000 a semester or whatever.
So, how can our readers and viewers find out more about you, more about WFI, website, social media, what?
Yeah, well, we're rebuilding the website for WFI, so it's not very comprehensive now. But I'm a pretty easy Google. You Google Larry Namer at wherever. There's a lot of stuff out there, and like I say, I've been doing a lot of stuff with the social good component. I'm doing a big fashion project now, and it's pretty easy to find me on, just type into Google my name and you come up with 100 things.
Well, you used to be my boss at Movie Time, and I'll never forget it, decades ago.
It was
So
good
thank you.
old
You were
days.
a wonderful boss. And we are the Hollywood Times today, and the Hollywood Times official is our YouTube channel. And thank you, Larry, for today. I always love seeing you out and about in Hollywood and everywhere we go. You're there. You're so friendly and wonderful. Thank you.
All righty, take care now.
All right, you too. Thanks again.